Good morning, everybody. This is Casper from the Tropical Weather Threat Society bringing you our last special update on Hurricane Melissa. Our next live stream, I will not be doing one this afternoon. Our next live stream will be our regularly scheduled time at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. I've got engagements this afternoon that I must attend, so I will not be around this afternoon. But we will be here tonight at our regularly scheduled time at 6 p.m. So as we could see, Melissa is definitely beginning to reconsolidate, reorganize now that it is lifted out of the Bahamas and on its way towards Bermuda. If we take our visible satellite loop and drive it off into our infrared, you can definitely see that it is trying to reorganize and trying to re-intensify. Taking a look at the 8 a.m. intermediate advisory, Melissa is located at 26.8 north, 72.7 west, about 605 miles southwest of Bermuda, and about 295 miles northeast of the central Bahamas. Maximum sustained winds have increased to 105 miles an hour, and present movement is north-northeast or 30 degrees at 21 miles an hour. Minimum central pressure has come down also to 965 millibars. We only have a hurricane warning in effect for Bermuda left. After seeing what we saw over the last few days with a laundry list of different countries and stuff like that, provinces, parishes, we're starting to wind it down, folks. We still got Bermuda to go, but we're starting to wind it down. For our hazards affecting land, we have, with our wind, tropical storm conditions will begin on Bermuda later today, with hurricane conditions expected there tonight. Rainfall over the southeast Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos. An additional inch of rain is possible, with storm total maxima up to 10 inches in the southeastern Bahamas and storm total maxima up to 4 inches across the Turks and Caicos. Any residual flooding should be waning. Over portions of Hispaniola, an additional rainfall of 1 to 3 inches is possible this morning, with storm total accumulations up to 40 inches possible in southern Hispaniola. Across Bermuda, outer rain bands east of Melissa's track may bring up to an inch or 25 millimeters of rain today and tonight. For our storm surge, water levels should continue to subside through the morning for the southeastern Bahamas, and then coastal flooding from storm surge is possible in areas of onshore winds for Bermuda. And our swells. Folks, we've had enough with Melissa. Please stay out of the water until we get rid of this just horrible storm. With our 5 a.m. Update and forecasters discussion on this. So we're gonna go ahead and read it because it's a little outdated, but then it is also important for the folks there in Bermuda to have the full breadth of the information. So Melissa appears slightly better organized this morning. Overnight microwave GMI passive microwave images show a closed mid-level eye wall, and there has been hints of a ragged eye feature in recent conventional satellite images with deep convection surrounding the center. Based on these developments, the initial intensity was raised to 90 knots, which is supported by 5.0 90-knot Dorvat classification from SAB. A comparison of the 89 and 37 gigahertz microwave images indicate the vortex is tilted towards the northeast with height, likely the result of the southwesterly shear over the hurricane. An Air Force Reserve hurricane hunter is scheduled to investigate the hurricane this morning, and we have that data. Melissa is moving quickly northeastward at, for then it was 30 degrees at 18 knots, away from the Bahamas. An even faster northeastward motion is expected during the next couple of days as Melissa moves within the flow between a mid-level trough over the southeastern U.S. and a subtropical ridge over the central Atlantic. The tightly clustered track guidance shows the center of Melissa passing to the northwest of Bermuda tonight, and a hurricane warning remains in effect for the island. Then, Melissa should pass near the southeastern tip of Newfoundland as a strong extratropical cyclone on Friday night before moving across the North Atlantic this weekend. No notable changes were made to the NHC track forecast with this update. Slight additional strengthening is possible today while Melissa remains over warm waters in a defluent upper level environment. However, the shear is forecast to become prohibitively strong later tonight and Friday, and Melissa will reach much cooler waters during the next 24 to 48 hours. As a result, Melissa is expected to quickly lose tropical characteristics once it passes Bermuda and is forecast to become a strong post-tropical cyclone over the North Atlantic by Friday night or early Saturday. The latest NHC intensity forecast remains on the high end of the guidance envelope and more closely follows the global models during the extratropical phase later in the forecast period. As we could see, maybe 110 here in the next 12 hours. It could re-achieve major hurricane intensities here through today. It could. It really could. Taking a look at the latest intensities, as you can see here with the H-Wharf, we've got it up to a 3. H-Mon has got it up to a 3. Halves A brings it back into a 3. Halves B brings it to a 4. But let's do TC coamps. As you can see, only brings it to a 2. But our consensus shows, the HCCA shows a little bit of intensification, but does not get it all the way to a Category 3 status. The other consensus, same thing. And then the official forecast brings it just under that Category 3 status at 110 miles an hour. If we take a look at our forecast cone, we can see our overall wind field of tropical storm force 50 knot and hurricane force winds respectively, and how it is forecast to track this way. If we were to try to extrapolate some of these distances and get it here into Bermuda, it's going to be close, folks. It really is. It's going to be close. Our guidance, like they said, very tightly clustered. May be a little bit of an easterly shift with some of the most recent runs. We do need to go back up here to Newfoundland and show that last night the entirety of the Avalon Peninsula was in the cone, and it has shifted just a little bit east compared to what we saw with last night. But the folks up here in the Avalon Peninsula of Newfoundland, please make preparations for the approaching of a storm. It's not going to be tropical, it's going to be post-tropical, but it's still going to be a storm nonetheless, so please make preparations. Excuse me. The Google DeepMind. Now, the Google DeepMind has performed unbelievably well when it comes to intensities, and I did want to highlight this. We may see here later on tonight, maybe getting into real early tomorrow morning. Wait a minute, Thursday. This is the 0Z. So no, today is Thursday. I'm okay. It's still early, folks, so please forgive me. Potentially getting this back up into major hurricane status. It has a very high chance there. So Google DeepMind is calling for this maybe to re-intensify back into a major. And as you can see here, the ensemble mean also brings it to a Category 3. So A very short window of time, but then will begin its weakening process and finally get out of the National Hurricane Center's updates, and then we can continue the recovering process. But it's been bad, folks. So as of the 5 a.m., it says 9 a.m. UTC. This was 5 a.m. for the wind speed probabilities. Bermuda, you have gone up in your tropical storm force winds to 84%. You have, that was from 80 last night. Your 50 knot winds are now up to 26% from 25% or 24% last night. And then our hurricane force winds are 3%. So I'm kind of watching that 50 knot, 58 mile an hour ring of winds. It is certainly possible. Bermuda, you are definitely going to see those tropical storm force winds, but anything higher than that still remains kind of questionable. For Newfoundland, Cape Race, you have a 76% chance of seeing those tropical storm force winds, a 38% chance of seeing those 50 knot winds, and an 11% chance of seeing those 64 knot or hurricane force winds. Isle St. Pierre, 30% chance of seeing those tropical storm force winds. And for the oil field out here, a 64% chance of tropical storm force winds and a 16% chance of those 50 knot winds, 3% for our hurricane force winds. So our hurricane force winds, other than Cape Race here at 11, everything else for hurricane force winds is below 5%. So just for the Cape Race, Newfoundland here, that's the only one that we have is at 11% or even above 3%. The oil field and Bermuda are 3% respectively. So, excuse me. That's kind of what we're looking at here this morning. That new update and the new wind speed probabilities will come out here at 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Please check back with the National Hurricane Center. Our forecast advisory, I just want to point out that the overall tropical storm force wind field, as you can see here, within their quadrants, is forecast to expand as we continue and the extratropical transition takes place. So we're certainly going to see still some impacts, especially getting up there into Bermuda, where a hurricane warning is in effect, and then for the folks up there into Newfoundland, where we do not have a hurricane or tropical storm watch or warning in effect due to the fact that it is going to become post-tropical. But just because it is not specifically named a tropical system does not mean that impacts will not be felt. Our rainfall forecast, this was the final one. This was issued last night. I just wanted to show this because it is still included in the products from the National Hurricane Center. But this, like I said, this is the final update. We are not going to get another rainfall graphic from the National Hurricane Center. So I am going to close out of that particular graphic. That's done. Thankfully, we've had enough with rain. 40 inches in Hispaniola, potentially upwards of 30 inches in Jamaica, 35 inches in Jamaica, 25 inches in Cuba. All right, it's nice to be able to retire that rainfall potential graphic. It really is. Key messages for this morning from the 5 a.m. primary advisory. Bermuda, hurricane conditions are expected in Bermuda tonight, with tropical storm conditions beginning later today. Preparations should be rushed to completion. I completely agree. For our post-storm safety, follow advice of local officials as you may need to remain sheltered after the storm due to downed power lines and flooding. Any flooding across the Bahamas is expected to subside today. Flooding across Cuba, Jamaica, and Hispaniola could persist for another few days. Ensure generators are properly ventilated and placed outside at least 20 feet away from dwellings and garages to avoid carbon monoxide poisoning. During cleanup, be careful when using chainsaws and power tools. I'm going to add in ladders as well. Chainsaw, ladders, and power tools because, yes, we need to be very careful. Drink plenty of water to avoid heat exhaustion. And our most likely arrival time of tropical storm force winds, we are getting in and around sunset tonight for Bermuda. So please, folks, rush all preparations to completion. Jumping over here to the University of Wisconsin, taking a look at some of their products that we have here this morning. The only thing that I am really interested in on this is going to be our shear. Our shear analysis is fresh, as you can see, less than 3 hours old, denoted by this green color, and it is 29 knots. The storm will not like that, and as you can see from some of the microwave imagery, it has a very, very large central area of circulation. So we may get it back again. We may get it back to a major hurricane status, but it's not going to last much longer, folks. I promise. Bermuda, just rush your preparations to completion. This thing is going to come in, hit quick, hit fast, and it's going to go. I'm not even going to say it's going to hit hard, but it's going to hit quick and fast, and then it's going to be exiting off towards Newfoundland. With our recon flight here from Cyclonic WX, as you can see, the pressures are falling. The recon mission is leaving. It is on its way back to base, we'll say. And 966 on its reading. And if we go back here to the public advisory, 965 as of the 8th. So they did catch it for the intermediate advisory, and as you can see here, estimated drops on pressure at 965. So yeah, it's there, folks. It is certainly there. Please just, Bermuda, rush all preparations to completion. As you can see here, using the Bermuda weather website, we've got everything that they are going to be able to show. And then later on in tonight's, this evening's live stream update of our normal time at 6 p.m. Eastern, we will go through here and see what we've got. I'm going to pull up the radar just so we've got it set and ready to go. Oh, I don't want that. Oh, that's ugly. What the hell are we doing? I don't want that. Please note the radar imagery is currently offline. Okay. All right. That's why. That doesn't normally look like that. So that's about all that I've got here for this morning, folks. Yeah, Sammy, you're not kidding. One tab closed, 762,655 to go. At one point in time during the big time intensity of Melissa, I had to start closing tabs. I had to shut down all of the Eastern Pacific. I had to shut down the Joint Typhoon Warning Center and all of the products that I use for out there on the other side of the world, because at one point in time, I had over 60 tabs open for Melissa. And the computer was like, if you don't close some of these tabs, I'm going to close all of them simultaneously and immediately. And I was like, okay, hold on, calm down. Let's compromise here. I will take out the other basins. And the computer was like, all right, don't ever do it again. We'll hold on for now. But don't you ever, ever do that again. And so, as you could see, I've been trying to at least eliminate the tabs. We've got it into the 30s. It's in the 30s. It's not in the 50s anymore. It's not in the 60s. So, yeah. Nope. But again, we try to make sure that we get, yeah, CPU left the chat. Definitely. We're trying to make sure that we just get the information out there to folks. And if people knew, I have probably close to 250 bookmarks regarding the tropics. So if I really wanted to get ridiculous, I could break this computer very easily. Very easily. There's only a couple websites that I would need to pull up that are very, very intensive with the RAM on the computer, and I'd pull 3 of those up with the tabs I've got up right now. I don't even have to get to 60, and the computer's going to crash. There's no doubt about it. That's why when it comes to reconnaissance, I'm using these as to where the other team members are using the Cesium website. And I've used the Cesium on my phone, but I'm not going to use it on the computer because I'm afraid of what the hell it's going to do to the computer. The computer is going to be like, all right, I've had enough. Shut it down. All right, everybody. We are going to shut this down here this morning. I did want to come through, make sure that I gave an update for the folks there in Bermuda. Please rush all your preparations to completion and follow all the advice given to you by your local officials. For the folks down there in the already impacted areas, please stay safe, follow the local officials, and, help one another. The community will need to come together. And for the rest of the folks that were not impacted, help one another. The community needs to come together. We need to look into what you can do for those folks down there in Jamaica. And before I go, Josh Morganman did appear last night. He's got some videos out. You can look it up on iCyclone there on YouTube of his page. I know Weather Nation he is a correspondent with and has provided video update there. And then also some personal accounts on his social media pages as well. So shout out to Josh. Thankfully he's safe. So I'm already looking forward to that data. I want to know. I want to know what those kestrels found. I desperately want to know. That is going to be my number one for the off season of anticipation. That's my number one anticipation. Will be the post-storm report that will come from the National Hurricane Center for Melissa. But I promise you, the data that Josh collected will go in that post-storm report. So we should see Josh's data before the National Hurricane Center releases their data. So, all right, everybody, I am going to sign off. I'll be back tonight, not this afternoon, tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central at our normal time, and we will go from there. Tomorrow might be our last live stream until the end of the season. We'll see. So y'all may want to try to, come join us and all that other stuff. I may have a surprise for you. I'm not sure yet. For our long-term folks, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, that I may have a surprise for you, but I'm not sure yet. I have to find out. I've got to get some more particulars, but I may have a surprise for you tomorrow night at our 6 p.m. live. So, all right, everybody, stay safe, stay prepared, stay weather aware, and we'll talk to you